Welcome back to the Battle Camp. Thank you for clicking on this video. If it's the first time, please hit the subscribe button. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. So Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier, deserving winner, a dominant at times. Clearly won that fight on points. Before I get into the actual fight, let me just tell you how I scored it. So I had Dustin Poirier win the first round 10-8. Then I had him winning the second round again. I had Max Holloway winning the third and fourth, and then Dustin Poirier winning the fifth. So I had a couple of reservations about Max Holloway before this fight. With his fighting style at featherweight, he puts a lot of pressure on his opponents. He overwhelms them, and he kind of just throws a high volume of strikes. But in doing that, he always takes punches and he always gets hit, basically. But as a featherweight, he seems to be able to withstand the power of his opponents and just keep moving forward. I wasn't sure if he would be able to do that at lightweight, and those reservations were proved right, because he didn't change his game plan in the higher weight division. He went out and fought like he always does, and he paid for it, because Dustin Poirier, and maybe this is a product of the fact that they fought previously and Dustin Poirier's felt Max Holloway's power, so he didn't really have a lot of respect for Max Holloway's power. Dustin Poirier basically did what Max Holloway does in that first round. He put the pressure on. He was right in Max Holloway's face, but the difference is he didn't throw a high volume of strikes. He just threw strikes with a lot of power and precision, and he was able to hurt and rock Max Holloway. You had him kind of stumbling and falling around the cage in that first round. He tried to get that finish, but Max Holloway, he does still have a good chin. Just because he was hurt and rocked, he still had his wits about him, and he was able to kind of ride the wave of Dustin Poirier's strikes and get to the buzzer and see the second round. So just quickly looking at Max Holloway, he fought well. Like, don't get me wrong, he's still at lightweight. He's still a top 10 fighter, top 5 fighter even. But one thing that sticks with me is something that Daniel Cormier said in the post-fight kind of analysis thing. He said Max Holloway didn't take the time to become a lightweight. He just stepped up for a one-off fight at lightweight. So when you looked at him physically, he just looked tall and slender, slim. There was no kind of muscle definition. If you look at how Dustin Poirier looked as a featherweight compared to how he looks now, you'll see Dustin Poirier has taken the time to actually become a lightweight. He's changed whatever he needs to change, like whether it's his training or nutrition or whatever. He's actually physically looks like a lightweight. The same way with Conor McGregor. If you look at how Conor McGregor looked as a featherweight compared to now as a lightweight, his body's filled up. He looks a lot bigger and he's stronger. And if Max Holloway wants to stay in this division, he needs to do the same thing. And another thing that I think Max Holloway needs to do is he needs to change his fighting style, because even if he does become physically stronger, and he's able to throw shots with more power, and he's able to physically manhandle his opponents more as a lightweight, he still can't get hit. Because if there's one thing you know about combat sports, you can't build a fucking muscles in your chin. And if he's going to be successful as a lightweight, and if he wants his career to go as long as it should, because let's remember, he's only in his mid-20s, but in fight years he seems a lot older because he's been around for so long. But if he wants the longevity of if he wants to, I've used that wrong, haven't I? If he wants to get the most out of his career from a longevity standpoint, does that make sense? He needs to change his fighting style. He needs to not get hit so often, because I can see that happening time and again at lightweight. If you fought Conor McGregor now, I could see the same thing happening to him, the same way it happened with Dustin Poirier. But yeah, let's not focus on what he should do next. He's still a great fighter. He's still got the featherweight title. He probably will go down back to featherweight and defend that belt. He didn't look bad as a lightweight. He just needs to make a few adjustments. Now, if I look at Dustin Poirier, I picked against him, and I've been picking against him constantly since he's moved up to lightweight. And every single one of them times he's proved me wrong. Not that he gives a fuck about proving me wrong. But I think it's not just me. I think it's just the MMA community in general. A lot of these fights that he's had at lightweight, he's been the underdog. And for me, I always felt that Dustin Poirier had heart, determination, physical strength. Where I felt that he lacked is technical skill, technique, and to an extent, I thought he would struggle with the pace against Max Holloway. I thought towards the end of the fight, and it kind of showed in one of like a part of, I think it was the third or the fourth round, where Max Holloway had Dustin Poirier against the cage, and he was basically, it looked like a featherweight fight the way he was throwing his strikes, and he just wasn't letting Dustin Poirier breathe. And Dustin Poirier not only did he look hurt, he looked tired, and that's where I thought tiredness would settle in, but it didn't. And those kind of doubts that I've had have been proved wrong. Dustin Poirier does have the technique, he does have the skill, and the way he kind of, this 5-round fight, the way he what's the right word, the way he fought this fight, like the way he paced it, I suppose, was perfect, because he came back and he won that 5th round. Even though he was tired, he was able to rely on his skill and technique to win that 5th round. So hats off to Dustin Poirier. He's done so well as a lightweight, so well. It's kind of gone under the radar. It's only the last couple of rounds. Like, put it this way: when he beat Justin Gaethje, he was shouting out for a title shot, and I thought, no, you don't deserve it. But now when I look back at the people that he's beat, Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, who else does he beat at lightweight? Anthony Pettis as well. But it's not just the people that he's beat, it's the manner of victories. He's been dominant in these victories. Dominant. And he's deserving of the position he's in at the moment. He deserves to be the interim champion, and he deserves to be fighting Khabib next. He's a world-class fighter, and I believe now, and I hope other people kind of are convinced by him now. Because I don't think it's fair. I think I've been unfair in kind of my analysis or assumptions around Dustin Poirier, and I think other people have as well. But what a night of fights, man. Those two fights, the Israel Adesanya, Kelvin Gastelum, Holloway, and Dustin Poirier. And you know what? It kind of, like, it just goes to show, because all 4 of them got the fight of the night bonuses, rather than just these performance of the nights to other people. All 4 of them got bonuses because they all fought their hearts out, and that's why we love this sport. Let me know what you guys think. Put your comments below. Don't be scared to share this with friends. And again, please hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you guys next time.